Hey y'all, welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors, live from Mississippi on Saturday night. I'm actually reseasoning this Blackstone. Let me get another spoonful of oil here. I am putting on here some lard. This thing, y'all, I hadn't got out here and cooked on this in a while. So I had to clean it all up. It had started rusting from I have never been able to prevent the rust. I can season it, make it cook right, but if you let it go for months in our humidity, it don't matter how well I have left oil on it and there'll be to this time it was one big spot of rust right here in a circle. So I don't know what to tell y'all, but I'm fixing to cut it down. Oh, I've got it really hot. Need to let it cool back down, and we about to get it where we can cook. It is pulling some of that stuff up out of the, as it gets that hot. And you can see, I don't know, y'all can't tell what color none of that is, but I've got it really hot. Seasoning it and such. I had somebody told me one time, they said, oh, that ain't cast iron, you can't season it like cast iron. Well, no, you can't season it like cast iron, but you season it very similar. You get a hot rub all on it. It's pretty close, you know. I mean, that's the way you season carbon steel now. There's a little bit difference in the results and stuff on both of them. But anyway, you still got to season it, nevertheless. I'm always amazed at how little experts know, you know. But anyway, the Lord loves them people too now. He does. I promise he does. He don't get mad at them. He's got to have a lot of patience with them. He made them that way. That rag there is strictly for doing such as that right there. Now I am going to, I think, put a little olive oil on here. I don't have a lot. And that olive oil has a little bit higher melting temperature and such as that. So I was using hog lard that was already cooked with. Now we getting somewhere. I don't even know what we cooking tonight. I'm sure somebody has asked already in the show. Michelle's in charge of cooking. I'm in charge of getting this ready to cook tonight. I just been sitting here drinking coffee and, you know, looking at YouTube and Facebook. And I've honestly been trying to get caught up on everything I'm behind on, because for the last 2 weeks, I don't know, I've been running in circles. I've met myself a time or two. I've been trying to do so much. But we about got it whooped. We on a downhill slide now. It's going to all be all right. Michelle's got a whole bunch of these cups like this out there made. We're gonna put them in a show we doing Tuesday. After that, what is left will be on the internet, but they can be made to order. If you want one, say, hey, I want one of them, and it'll just take a little time to get it made.
I've had some that was ordered, and they're going out this week. So.
Yep.
When
you order stuff from us, we slow. We doing a lot and just doing it ourselves, and it takes us a while. I'm slow as Christmas sometimes. All right.
You gonna chop the onions?
Yeah, let me wash my knife.
Is the griddle ready?
Yeah, well, it needs to cool down. I turned it down, let it cool a little bit. I put some olive oil on it. I wouldn't. If you could cook on it now, but it's hot. It had to cook fast, so I'd recommend waiting a minute. I was trying to get it seasoned and prepped and all that. I mean, I like cooking on a hot plate now. I like to turn that skillet wide open on the stove in there. We're going to wind up having to buy us a new stove. Ours keeps going on the... Sometimes it works perfect, sometimes it's got a mind of its own. And when it's got a mind of its own, it malfunctions usually with my biscuits in the oven. And when it messes up my biscuits, it really messes up my day.
It's got to where it don't want to heat up.
And you know how us old poor country folks are. We go to tinkering on stuff, and we ain't done nothing probably but made it worse. But at least when I go by new and I'll feel like I have tried. We done put elements in it, and I don't know what all. It's not the elements. It's something to do with some of the switches in there. I mean, it just goes on the brink. Did y'all see me wash my knife?
Hey, everybody. I'm just now getting the iPad up and running.
Which way you want to slice these? What we going to do
In
with
little
them?
bitty slices. Hey,
Do we need a bunch?
everybody.
Do we need a bunch of it or just a little?
Just a little. I'll do about half of it.
I ain't even quite got half.
You tell them what we was making?
No, I didn't know.
We're making taco quesadillas. It's gonna be ground like taco meat, but we're gonna do it and take the quesadillas.
Are we going to get the taste of that pie you filmed cooking?
I'm waiting on it to cool down. I got y'all a new video coming out tonight if I can get it to load.
You got to film us eating it though, ain't you?
Uh-uh.
So we can eat it on the live. She got in there and film making a pie, y'all. I'll come up with her an excellent idea, and I'm not going to spill the beans because one of y'all will run and go make a video before we do. I know it's going to be a hit. I done come up with a pie for her to make. I said, it can't be nothing but good, so if it flops, it was my idea. All right, I better cut one more a little bit. I like a lot of onion. I ain't happy with the amount that looks like there.
JC, I hadn't got any fat bottom mugs made up, but I'm gonna try to work on some when I get my clay back.
There is my buddy right there. He missed all the deer camp working. Hey, Michelle. Hang on, y'all. Hey, Michelle, I need my little cutting board, the little Spirit Outdoors cutting board to rake this stuff on.
What I miss?
You missed all that deer camp work. I've been up there riding the tractor for 3 days. 3 days. Y'all like how wide I spread them things? That's how hard I worked. 3 days. And I'm talking about if it could go wrong, it went wrong. Not really. Most of it went all right. We was coming home the first day after we took the shooting house up there, and the truck quit pulling, bringing the tractor. We had to borrow a friend of ours, gooseneck, to pull that tractor so I could put the shooting house and the bush hog and everything. We got a shorter trailer. All of it wouldn't fit on there. And the gooseneck was a whole lot easier. It was already hooked up, so I just kept it for the last 3 days and used it. But anyway, the truck quit pulling. Coming home, we had to, so Friday, we had to go and get a fuel filter and work on that, put the fuel filter on there. And then I tightened up everything on the disc, had the disc ready to go, and we found a crack in the back of where the third arm hooks down to the frame. Welded that up. Y'all saw Pop's welding on that. And I took it over there. Well, I think I disced 10 patches up. About number 8. No, number 7. No. Number 6. The 6th patch, I hung a stump. There was 2 stumps about this far apart, and one of them was about that tall, and I eyeballed it. The other one was about that tall, and it was in grass about that high. I had bush hogged it earlier, but the grass had done grew back up some. Well, I hung that stump, and I'm talking about that, that axle that the 5 blades is on, disc blades, there's 2 axles, well, 4 total, but 2 on each side. Well, that outside blade hung that stump, it bent that axle. Now that disc goes down through there, it cuts like this number instead of just cutting straight. Cut better, really, but well, then it wore the bearing out. Bearing went out on that thing, so I did get, out of 11, I got 10 of the patches disc up. So I went back today and I carried the bush hog this morning when we finished up everything and let another boy, because everybody was working up there today. I had to do my personal stands And so I went ahead and prepped some of the club stands. We got like 20-something club stands had to be planted today. And so anyway, we got all of that stuff done today. And I got a video coming on it, but now it's not in detail everything because, y'all, we put a lot of work in up there. I did. Well, a lot of those guys did. And I didn't have time to film everything. I filmed some bits and pieces. I found me a big old lighter stump up there.
You ain't got to put that hole in it. Cut that whole thing up in. Oh, well, I ain't but just a little bit left, is it?
I was going to say, you done waited a day late, a dollar short to told me that. I mean, we ain't got to look. There's a side. I can leave some of it in bits and pieces if you want to put it in the refrigerator.
I just didn't figure we need to hold all of it.
If you hand me something, I go to chopping it up right straight. If I didn't have so much projects and stuff going on, I would start running me water right out here. I got a hand dig a ditch all the way and buy the stuff and I could do it probably in a half a day. And I may do it here one of these days because I need water out here, but then my luck would freeze this winter and be more of a problem than a blessing, but who knows. I could really use some water out here. I might actually start washing stuff occasionally if I had some running water. Y'all, I honestly wash stuff. I just like to carry on about that knife. Y'all wouldn't know it. I really do wash that thing after I skin stuff with it. With Dawn dishwashing liquid and a scrub pad, mind you. Let him out. Where's Roscoe? Him and Roscoe don't get along. Puppy and Roscoe don't get along. I'm still waiting on one of y'all to claim this puppy before Brody gets slam attached to it. I mean, we done about near got the thing treeing squirrels. He's got him a squirrel tail up there he drags all over the house. And he's going to make a squirrel dog if this grill don't cook him right quick under there running around. Oh.
Dad, Roscoe needs to go inside.
No, he don't. I'm running this show.
Yeah, you don't want to get eaten by Roscoe.
Now she run off and I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing out here. I don't know how I'm cooking what, how I'm supposed to be seasoning it or nothing. But I'm fixing to throw meat on here. Where'd she go? You ready for me to throw this meat on here? Yep. Seasoned or what?
No, you can't throw this
Brody, put it down. We have to watch.
Just so y'all wondering what's going on, Brody has got Puppy over there in that hammock. And y'all y'all know he rides that hammock pretty hard. Seasoning you want on this meat or how you...
Right here.
If you got a certain way you want to do this, you better be helping do it or either at least giving me good instructions. I'm supposed to be just drinking coffee and looking pretty.
It's so hot out here.
Yeah, it's so hot. It is 80 degrees right now, according to that thermometer on the wall.
You gonna make
Brody,
him sick.
Brody's done said y'all probably don't want this puppy.
He'll attack you, he said.
Look, you swinging a little too big with him. He done dropped him on his head one time. He's probably defective now. I think he got a slight concussion the other night. If he survives Brody, he'll be a tough one. You ready for me to throw these vegetables on here? Hey, y'all, you need you one of them right there. M4 Laser Works, he can fix you up. We got these cutting boards. He's got the ones with a prayer on them. Y'all, I don't ever really use mine with a prayer. It's sitting over there with decorations on, you know. It's for looks. We get it out when company comes over.
Taking this up.
Oh. Jeffrey said he got his tiny house.
He did.
Got his house.
Jeffrey, brother, I am behind on your videos because I really ain't sat down and watched nothing in the last week, 2 weeks. I've had, but now after,
He ain't
really
been home.
after today, it's getting back to normal. We good. I got to sit down and relax this evening.
He ain't even cut the grass.
Grass is growed up. Chickens, I did feed them.
I think I'm gonna have to cut the grass.
I was gonna pick me a bunch of beauty berries and make jelly. I still might could. I know where there's a bunch at the deer camp. I found a bunch of them over there.
Oh, I heard Pop hollering.
He'll kill him. He'll kill him sure as the world. Right here live before your eyes. Let me wash my knife again.
Puppy's always lucky.
Okay, well let's go put Puppy in.
Oh, I love doing that. It makes somebody mad on there. I sure enough know it.
Y'all, if y'all want that puppy, do not get him if y'all have a child, because if that child flies him around too much.
They can't see you over there talking. You're going to have to get over here if you talk to these people.
Now, if y'all get them puppy, you're not going to have a child. But if
He
that-
said you can't have a child if you get this puppy. Why?
No, because if you follow that, that child follows that puppy around too much, that
Puppy will attack the kid, won't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's an attack puppy on kids. It's attacked him. Bit his feet.
It's an attack puppy.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
I said it was an attack puppy.
So if y'all don't have a child, y'all can get the puppy.
Brody's really hoping don't none of y'all get it. I think he's done laid claim to it. He's about done named it Biscuit.
I already had
Go in there and get some paper towels.
Walking in stickers, walking in stickers.
I had to go put Puppy up. You don't get Puppy back out. He's gonna take a nap. I told him I feel like I'm running a doggy daycare and a human and a dog daycare. Roscoe growls all the time at the puppy. Lucky don't like the puppy.
Here
So-
you go.
I'm always having to referee all day long. By the time Justin comes in the evenings, I'm about going nuts. I need to be in the nutty aisle.
Since I passed through the house, it's 7-0. You gonna move it around and let that juice drain off?
I'm gonna do all this with it.
No.
Well, you do what you want.
Oh, I ain't gotta do nothing.
I just didn't want the grease in it.
Do I need to turn it back up, or is it cooking back like you want?
It's cooking about like I want.
Oh.
Won't you go in there and make him put Pup up?
Well, I hate to fight with him on camera over it. he gets sideways. Look. Hey, Mama said quit running. Put the puppy in that room and shut the door. Leave it alone. So you kill it.
It could be complete chaos around here sometimes.
Yeah, there's no rest. That's probably why I'm so stressed out, because we constantly screaming at him, screaming at the puppy. And Puppy ain't housebroke. Puppy ain't housebroke at all. You have to follow him around with a towel.
I'm trying to.
Oh, Lord. Jeffrey Gray, if your patch starts looking like where I've been trapping them beavers with them water moccasins in it, you got problems.
What?
He said his yard was starting to look like that patch I'd been trapping in.
Muddy.
Murad Pottery said whatever you're cooking looks good. What do you call this?
Got him.
I'm gonna make quesadillas.
Quesadillas. That sounds good. I watched a video where he finished cleaning up out there. It was the last video I got to watch, and I've seen several of the shorts.
That was a lot of light.
But I hadn't. I'm behind on the tiny house project. I was interested in it, but I just
Dad.
I've left before daylight every day this week. I mean every day this week, hadn't I? Because the 2 days I trapped, I left at 5. And then this morning I left at 6. It was right about daylight. And then yesterday morning I left. No, I didn't. Yesterday morning we worked on the thing. It was dinner before I left. But now we was left at 7, 8 o'clock to go get parts. So one day I did get to sit on the porch one day. It's all right. I've got a lot done. I really have. And we still got a little bit to do at the deer camp. We got to go put seed out and one more camera up, move a stand, put up a blind. Oh, Lord.
I've been going back and forth in there to see if my video will transfer that I made.
I'm going to, tomorrow I've got church. We got 2 o'clock church tomorrow. Then I'm preaching tomorrow night. So Monday, I got to get up and go run the beaver traps Monday. And then Monday evening and most of the day Tuesday, I got to finish those couple of knives and sheaths out there. Youth, I didn't get to take Brody on the youth squirrel hunt. We're going to have to do that later in the week next week. I thought about taking him in the morning, but do y'all think it's wrong to go hunting on Sunday? Hunting and fishing on Sunday. Now, we're not talking about missing church. We got church at 2 o'clock, so tomorrow morning is open. Just sit here and do nothing. Is it all right in y'all's opinion? And I know everybody's got probably various opinions. We ain't saying nobody's right or wrong, because, it wouldn't be an opinion if it was fact. I don't believe in working on Sunday, but the fishing and hunting's relaxing to me, so I don't know. Some people say no. I know the old timers were strictly against it. No, don't know. Uncle Sasquatch, that's really the way I am. When I'm in the woods, fishing, on the water, stuff like that, I sit there and pray a lot. When I'm, especially deer hunting, while I'm just sitting there looking and waiting. In fact, I have took the Bible and read the Bible while I was there. So
I just poured my seasoning on there. If y'all wonder what I just dumped, that was my my homemade taco seasoning.
Now I would never miss church to do anything. Unless like the Bible says, your ox is in a ditch. If you got a problem, you just got to solve your problem. But I was just curious. Me and Brody, I'm going to have to think on it before I make a decision. I would like to take him, me and him go squirrel hunting in the morning, but it'll have a lot to do with whether he even wants to go.
All right, watch that for a minute. I gotta get my cheese.
Well, Miss Diana, I'll put my muffler on my rifle. That way you don't hear no shots. Solve that real easy. I'm just joking. You're like, we was just joking. That's what they told John Eubanks, when he climbed down out of that fighting that wildcat. Y'all heard about that old boy? Had him a coon dog for sale. So the old fella bought this coon dog. He said, that was the best coon dog he'd ever had in his life. Had it for nearly 10 years. Said that thing, he done got it where he said, you come out on the porch with a stretching board for a raccoon and he'd go tree you one that size. Said he is that good. And they said, well, what'd you do with him? He said, well, he run off. Said, never found him no more. And they said, run off? What happened to the dog? He just up and left. He said, it's kind of an odd story. He said, we'd got him trained. If you showed him a stretching board, he'd go find a coon that size. And he said, one of the neighbors up the road come down there to borrow Mama's ironing board, and when she come out on the porch with that ironing board and said that dog left, said we ain't seen him since. I reckon they say that dog's still hunting. I'm fixing to do me some coon hunting. I have talked to a lot of people. I don't like killing stuff just to kill it, to get rid of it. I really don't. Oh, the beavers, I mean, I'm doing it for the money, and I know there's a lot of people that like, leave the beavers alone, don't mess with them. But they're creating a lot of problem they got to be got with, and I'm utilizing what I can, what is feasible to get. But like these raccoons, I wanted to wait till it's cold enough I can get the fur off of them. So at some point when it starts cooling down on over here in a couple of weeks, and we start getting a frost and such as that, trapping season actually opens November the 1st, but coon season is open now. And you can go coon hunting with a rifle. And I'm thinking about going over there and camping out at the deer camp, and then slipping in there at night and shooting them things, and then get up the next morning and go squirrel hunting. So anyway, we didn't need to dry that off before you done that, or? Okay. You need the cheese now.
I got that melted cheese I'm gonna put on.
Oh, you gonna put melted cheese?
I'm gonna put both.
You want me to just set this on here to keep it melted?
No, it'll break.
Break? I thought your pottery was...
That ain't my pottery.
Oh, no. Why didn't you make you one to do that with, where you could set it on there and melt the cheese?
I don't know, but
what?
This is hot.
Yeah, that's why I set it right there.
I just melted it. This is rotail. Y'all just like to see me drop it, too. Right here on camera.
Live before your eye. What we doing with this onion? We threw it in. What about the butter? What's it for? You need this.
I was going to do these, but this has got plenty of oil on it, so I didn't have to.
So I can carry all this in the house, but the bugs get it. I'll be back in a little while.
We're going to put some of this rotail on there. And then I'm going to put some shredded cheese. We're going to make it cheesy.
It's still 7-0. I don't know how y'all got me back watching football.
Where's another one?
But I'm going to tell y'all about my football watching. What?
Another
One of
shield.
these? My watching football consists of, if I'm here and there ain't nothing else to do and it's on, I watch it. But like right now, it's just on in there. I'll look at the score and I walk through. I ain't hung up on I'm going to miss what I want to do to sit in there glued to it. I ain't doing that. I got too much I need to do. Shirley said, now she need to go make some tacos. William said he was rooting against Alabama. Who won the Mississippi State game? Anybody know? Mississippi State was ahead, then they tied it up. I know they went in overtime. That was all I knew.
Right.
Ole Miss beat LSU. Jeff Caldwell, how are you tonight?
I'm gonna go
We
get
good here. We good.
while them's cooking and melting that cheese.
Tennessee won. What
I'm
you
gonna
need
get
another?
I'm gonna get a bowl to put that.
Oh, you're gonna keep that separated? Yeah. Can y'all see what she is a doing? She had that turned up. You couldn't even tell. Look at him. Oh Lord. Y'all, this Blackstone is really the fastest, easiest way especially for outside to cook. But you can cook everything at one time. Otherwise, you'd have been here cooking one at a time, getting it out, skillet, you know. This thing here, you cook all of it at one time if you want to. Not that we always do that. You threw this rag right here. We'll wipe this grease off this spoon. It's still got to be washed, but you get them big gobs off.
All right. There's that. Hand me the plates. I assume you wanted two. Brody's probably not gonna eat one. He's got Mom and Daddy brought him pizza.
You better go in ways, huh? Think it ain't gonna. There you go. All right.
Hand me my plate.
Y'all notice she's good at barking them orders.
No, you.
All right, I'll cut it off.
I'm gonna take this in.
That stuff don't leave a mess. If you got stuff gummed up seasoning, it's like gummed up on here. I have learned that it's a good idea to take that water bottle and squirt that off. That was Roscoe's bite that went off out through yonder. He'll find it later. Oh, turn all these off. The bottle is off. Double check it. Yep, we good. All right. Now, we're going to take y'all over here, turn y'all this some way. I shook that camera pretty hard, didn't I? Get my...
You want to go blow some ants up?
Not right now, don't.
Are you turning her along?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I just need to. Okay. Turn me along. Not me. What's that?
This is taco sauce. Well, it's actually salsa. Salsa we made. Oh, Lord. Waiting on Mama.
Waiting on Mama.
Here.
4. We ready to say the blessing?
Oh, yes, so we are.
Thank you, Lord, for the woods and the creek. Thank you, Lord, for the food we eat. Thank you, Lord, for the fish that swim. Thank you, Lord, for all of them. Thank you, Lord, for the plants that grow. Thank you, Lord, for the white-tailed doe. Thank you, Lord, for the birds that sing. Thank you, Lord, for everything. Amen.
Amen.
All rightly. Well, you put cheese back on top of yours.
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot of cheese in your diet.
Brody, quit before you get hurt.
Hey, Brody. Do you want to go squirrel hunting in the morning?
Yes.
Before daylight?
Yes.
Get up bad early.
Well, don't wake me up when we get away. Where are we going?
I don't know. We'll go to the swamp, I reckon.
Hey, get that grass out of your mouth.
Getting Roscoe up is going to be a problem, Uncle Sasquatch. He has got to where he really likes to lay in that bed.
Brody.
In fact, I can get up and leave and he don't never even move. I believe he's going to be an evening hunting dog. Y'all, I don't know how I'm going to eat this. I foresee it making a mess. I really foresee it, that cheese melted in there, just scalding the roof of my mouth good.
It's really not hot.
It ain't?
I didn't been eating it.
Well, boy, it feels hot. Well, I done stuck my fork in there and I got to use it on this one, so I didn't want to eat off my fork.
Wait.
That's hot to hold. Y'all ever order something at a restaurant and when they bring it to you, you go, how you eat this? There's been several occasions I've looked at something and go, now how am I going to eat that?
Well, you're supposed to cut quesadilla. I mean, with your fork. You eat it with your fork.
Well, I tell you what I'll have to do then. Let me go ahead and put the sauce on mine, because I sure, for the life of me, I didn't want to stick a fork I done eat off of back in that jar. We'd get fired. I mean, be able to just sit there and watch your viewers go down.
Yeah.
All right. Now we through with that.
We should just let him stay at Mama's again.
One. You don't like him?
Well, he ain't wanting to mind.
Does he ever? Have we ever made him mind? We've told him he needs to, but we've never enforced it, I don't
Brody,
think.
spit that grass out.
My daddy would have done got a belt and whooped my tail. I'll tell y'all right now.
Brody, you not gonna get no ice cream tonight. Because you're not minding.
We didn't tell y'all, but the devil got after him this week.
What?
Yeah. Devil liked to slam got him this week. Come, you want to tell him about it? Come in and tell him about the devil getting you. Huh? Do you want to tell him your version of that story? I reckon we'll tell him my version then. He was over at his Nana's. That's Michelle's mama's. He calls her Nana. And he had her phone playing with it. She'd let him sit down, and I don't know if he was playing a game or watching YouTube or what he was doing, but well, the phone died on him. Well, he got a mite upset because the phone died. And chunked it across the room and broke it. Yeah. His Nana might have spanked his rump about it.
What?
What did Nana tell you when she spanked your rump?
You said you're not gonna put on.
Said what?
You said I'm not gonna get on anyone else's phone.
Anyway, that night he had a dream. Yeah, dreamed he went and seen the booger man. I ain't kidding either, y'all. He woke up horrified. And I felt sorry for him a little bit, but I thought, well, you know, the good Lord may be trying to get the youngin's attention. So, I just let the good Lord handle it. Don't think he won't, because I pray for Brody, and I pray, Lord, correct him. Lord, teach him. You know, that ain't always convenient or comfortable. That's pretty good, y'all. Mike Culpepper, you didn't scald the roof of your mouth, did you? Local life outdoors. Son, them moccasins has been thick down there where I was at. I'm going to tell you, I ain't never been one to put on, I'll go to swamp barefooted. I was born and raised right here in the edge of this swamp. I've been all up and down the mouth of the Pearl River, or the head of it, all my life. I'm 40-something years old, and I mean, I grew up and down this swamp. Been around all barefooted my whole life growing up. And I ain't never been afraid of snakes. But y'all seen me wearing them snake leggings, and y'all seen a fraction of what I've killed. I think I have killed a total of 8 snakes over there, and I'm talking about all cottonmouths. I ain't shot no chicken snake or nothing. And I let several get away. In fact, I had one on camera. I was trying to film him when he disappeared. And some of them I filmed in the first video I didn't try to shoot because I wasn't in there. They was just in a mud hole. I ain't never seen so many snakes one place in all my life. Brody begged to go with me to run them traps, and I said, no, I'm not. Because if one of them, I mean, little as he is, if one bit him, I probably wouldn't never make it to the emergency room with him. I told him he'd have to wait and go somewhere else when we could do better than that. Y'all, to me, safety is not equipment. Everybody thinks, oh, you need glasses and need protection and need to... Safety is having enough sense to know what you can do and can't do and need to do and don't need to do. Where you get, where you don't get. So, yeah, you've seen me wading in there with them snakes. But trust you me, I've had my eyeballs not on the horizon. There ain't no telling how many deer been out there watching me I never saw. Because I was watching where I was putting my feet because that was the more imminent threat at hand. It just... seeing a deer off out there or something jump up and run, it wasn't important to me over there. Most of the time I look down a little and look around out yonder a little. No. Over here I'm watching where the old feet's going. Roscoe, did you get a bite? I'm afraid you ain't gonna like it. You can have that bread. Y'all, this thing's pretty good. I didn't know what we was having tonight. I missed anything?
Yeah, a bunch.
Haha.
You know anybody that's ever got bit by a snake?
Do what?
You know anybody that's ever got bit by a snake?
Yeah. Flinoid Lofton got bit by a water moccasin right up here. My neighbor that I get on his property back here, his daddy lived right up here. His daddy and my grandpa were best friends. And he trapped a lot. Mr. Flinoid was a good trapper. My grandpa did more blacksmithing and stuff. But we talking about back now. Way back yonder in the 60s, 70s, stuff like that. And they was out there in the field doing something, and he got bit on the hand by a cottonmouth. Never even swelled up. But for those of you that are not aware of this, a grown snake, rattlesnake, water moccasin, I'm not sure about a copperhead. But anyway, a lot of times they'll do a dry bite. In other words, when they strike you, it's a warning and they don't inject their venom. And if they do inject their venom, they just inject a little bit of it. That don't mean that every time one bites somebody that it don't inject. Some of them will load you up. You know, it's the mood of the snake out there. But normally they reserve some of their venom to digest their food. They use that to break down whatever they swallow and eat, helps them digest it. But, I mean, they say a young snake don't know no better and it'll inject everything in you. But
all this talk of snakes has got me looking around my surroundings.
On, how many years ago, Tyler Hardy, one of the guys that lives around here, he got bit in the side of the head, didn't he? He was bow hunting and jumped a ditch and the water was high. The snakes had crawled up and somehow that moccasin, it was a slanted log limb or whatever. That snake had got up and struck him. It had hit him in the side of the head. He was in the hospital for how long?
I don't know.
He had to get a bunch of antivenom and stuff. I mean, he's well all right and all now, but somebody asked me, said if I got a snake bite, what to do? The first thing's pray. The second thing is take off to the ER. But they was asking and allude to medicinal plants. first thing, like I said, go to the ER. Go to the doctor with a snake bite, cause I mean it's you taking a big gamble trying to treat that yourself. You could die. But if you're stuck somewhere and you have to treat it yourself and going to the emergency room is out of the question, then plantain, they say eat it and make a poultice on it. And they said they treated snake bites like that, but that ain't gonna be my first option. I mean, that's know this for emergency if I can't go to a doctor. There's a lot I'll treat at home, but a snake bite ain't one of them. If I get snake bit, I'm gonna come to the house screaming and hollering, get in the truck, let's go. Tommy Norsworthy said to pray for his wife. She's got to have a test done next week. John Parker, how are you tonight, bud? And John, I hadn't forgot about you. I got you something here.
Somebody asked what was having for supper.
Quesadillas.
Yeah.
That what you said it was?
Yeah.
Homemade quesadillas. I don't know of anybody, though, that has been bit around here by a rattlesnake. We used to have a lot of rattlesnakes. Rattlesnakes are more apt to get into where there's rats, corn cribs, chicken coops, stuff like that. They like to eat rats. Y'all know I mentioned the other day in one of my videos, watch around your corn feeders and stuff like that, deer hunting. That'd be a good place for rattlesnakes. This is the time of year people start seeing a lot of rattlesnakes. Well, lo and behold, I seen a video yesterday somewhere on Facebook of one at the side of somebody's trough feeder. I mean, big old rattlesnake. So you keep your eyes open. But we hadn't seen any rattlesnakes here in years, not on this personal property. The last ones I saw, I killed 2 down here back here in the backyard, really, in the edge of the woods. It's been a lot of years ago. One of them had 13 rattles in a button. They were big snakes. But the other one had 8 in a button. They was curled up side by side. What? What you looking at me funny for? What? Well, y'all talking about snake bites. Michelle was telling me about somebody here not long ago that got bit by a tick. And now they can't eat anything with hair or 4 legs, like deer, beef, anything like that. Red meat, they can't eat it. I don't even think they can eat pig, pork. That tick bite done something to them, and now they break out every time they eat. They got a name for it. Somebody told me what the name was today. I'd about rather get bit by a snake and have to deal with that than to get bit by a tick and wind up where I couldn't eat a steak the rest of my life. That's got to be tough. That's lifelong lasting consequences. You'd get over that snake bite with the right antivenom and stuff if you could get to the doctor. But Daddy taught me when I was a little kid, He said, son, don't never step over a log. He said, step up on the log and hop over the off of it. He said, because if they happen to be a snake laying on that other side and you step right over it, he'll bite you. And they taught them that when they was in the guard or whatever he was in. And for whatever reason, I've just always done that. I very seldom ever just step over a log. I'm always going to step up on it and kind of hop off the other side, or at least look down before I step. But now I'm going to be honest with y'all. People don't realize it, but going barefooted has a lot of benefits. And I'll tell you what most of them are. You feel more connected to the world around you. But you slow down and you just train yourself without even realizing it to watch where you're putting your feet. Because not necessarily snakes, you're looking for thorns, rocks, sharp sticks, any glass. I mean, if you walk around barefooted for 6 months, all summer, you're going to train yourself to watch where you're putting your feet just without even thinking about it. So that is one of the reasons I stay barefooted a lot. I mean, it has taught me just slow down, watch where you're walking, son. That is one of the reasons that I really kind of sort of don't like safety equipment. Safety equipment subconsciously, in my opinion, teaches people to not be careful. They can do, well, I got this gloves on, I can just stick my fingers anywhere, you know. I can do anything I want to because I got all this protective gear on, I can't get hurt. And that ain't the truth, not near about. So that don't mean that I'm right or that's correct, but that's just my way of thinking, in other words. But I love to go barefooted, but I'm going to tell you what, I ain't going barefooted down there where I'm trapping. I'm just going to tell you. I would if I had to, but the good Lord give me enough sense to not do it just all willy-nilly on, you know, because I can. Well, Jeffrey, they say he's eating emu. They say they got them emu steaks. He can eat that because it's a two-legged bird. They say them emus has got red meat. So somebody said they was eating them now. Yeah, I give up on that fork. It was too slow. I'll make a mess, but I was going to be here all day cutting at it with that fork. Roll that thing up like a taco. You can go on and get it on down like this. All right. Now I got to clean my hands up. I'll be right back. Hey, Brody, tell Mom I need a coffee refill. All right. I got my hands mopped off, my face wiped. Now we can chit-chat, talk, and carry on. Now, I can think straight. I got some energy now. Timothy, you knew it wasn't going to be long before I reached down and wadded that up and went to shoving it home. I done pecked at it and been polite with it long enough. I done showed y'all I knew, well, that I attempted to use a fork. I probably don't know how. I had some lady one day, she scolded me. She said, that ain't the proper way to use a fork. I said, at least I was using one that time. Sometimes I be cutting eating off my pocket knife. Lord Jesus. Brian Pearson, I'm always leery about grabbing the last piece of tin off the ground. Well, really any of it for that matter, if it's stacked crooked where there's gaps in it. Them things can be under there, and I'm not scared of a snake long as I can see him. If I know he's there and know where he's at, we good. I mean, I'll deal with him. I'll let him go if we... Like, if I wasn't trying to trap where I was at, I wouldn't be worried about trying to kill all them snakes. But being I'm walking in and out of there over and over trying to get rid of the beavers, snakes has got to go. And I was going to leave the turtles alone. But I went down there and caught 3 or 4 turtles the other day, and I was like, my Lord, that's enough of this mess. I mean, so really you got to get rid of the turtles because they costing me money now. I went down there and burned a bunch of gas for nothing, which I'm getting paid by the hour to trap these beavers is why I took this job. It's really too warm for me to be trapping beavers, in my opinion, but it is what it is. But anyway, I ain't going down there walking around barefooted in there. But I wouldn't kill them if it wasn't for me being in and out of there. But when they in there where I got to be, they got to go. It's just all there is to it. I wouldn't bet on that. Hey, I put on an M4 Laser Works shirt. Somebody said I went through all that and didn't get sauce on my shirt. Miss Darlena did. I put on a clean shirt last night. I said I was going to wear it today to work in. I had that khaki colored M4 Laser Works shirt on Joey sent me. I sat down last night with a bowl of ice cream. And when I got through slopping that ice cream down, I had a big old spot right there. I said, well, I thought about, that comedian that's on there, Derek, what's his name? Derek something. He said when you a fat guy and you get stuff, he said, your day's over with. I said, well, that's me, because I'm fat and I done got stain on my shirt. My day's shot, but I wore the shirt anyway. I wasn't finna run it through the washing. JC, yeah, we got coffee. I was trying to get Michelle to refill my cup, but I'm gonna have to go in there and fill it up myself. I think she went in back room somewhere. I try not to keep running off from y'all, but I tell you what I was doing. I slipped through there to get coffee or something and check your score on the game as I went through the house. There she comes. You gonna get me some coffee? Yeah. I done got cold and it wasn't fit to drink no more. Thank you. JC, I got coffee coming. Y'all, it's hard to beat a woman like that. She done been out here and cooked, bringing me coffee. I mean, and y'all let's see them biscuits that she makes every now and then. Man, be a fool to leave a woman like that. I mean, don't think, y'all, that I take things for granted. I'm not the most intelligent individual that there is, but I'm smart enough to look around at my blessings and recognize that I'm blessed and take advantage of it and be thankful for it. So anyway. John, you done picked up a piece of tin, an old skunk under it. That's about like that night me and Roscoe heard the chickens going crazy. Thank you. And me and Roscoe went out there to see why them chickens was showing out like they was. Roscoe, you gonna get in your chair. Let me get over. Here, get in your chair. Get up there. Come on. Get in the chair. Get up here in the chair. Come on. Get in the chair. Sit down. And we went out there to check on what was in them chicken pens. That mosquito was biting me so hard, he done raising the derricks on a drilling rig there. So me and Roscoe, we took off down there. I had the 22 pistol in one hand, flashlight in the other, and I mean boogity, boogity, boogity. We went right on down there to the chicken pen. I rounded the corner, and man, I'm shining that light all around. And about that time, Roscoe said, rah, 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 and he dove up under yonder. And it was too late when I recognized what it was. And I said, no, Roscoe, no. And it said, psst. I mean, that thing skeeted out. I ducked like that. It got Roscoe right all down the side of the chest. I mean, it was orange and green, just a big, looked like a skid mark across his chest there. Man, we washed him in that hydrogen peroxide, baking soda, and Dawn dishwashing liquid 3 times in the tub. That was a mistake. That stuff will stick to your tub, too. But we finally got it all washed off of him, and he still, every now and then, he'd jump up in my lap, and it'd take your breath. You'd get a whiff of that. I about know it sprayed his soul. But yeah, so I can imagine you raising up a sheet of tin, John, and that thing got its tail up in the up position. You know it's bad news. My brother said he was policing one night, and I was looking at text come through. He was policing one night and said they pulled up in the parking lot of this business I ain't gonna mention, but he said, look, said there was a skunk out there in the parking lot. And he said he pulled up in the patrol car and said they turned them big lights on it where they could see it. He said he wasn't fixing to get out and shoot it. And didn't really want to get out and mess with it much. So they hit the horn, gonna try to run it off. And he said when he hit that horn, said it shot a stream out. He said they got tickled and they hit the horn again. That it shot another stream out. He said they sat there and blowed the horn to let thing empty it out. And he said the last time it didn't shoot near as far as it just barely a little squirt come out. He said that parking lot smelled like that for a week straight. But now, y'all, I heard that skunks was big money this year. Any of you trappers that's keeping up with fur prices, can y'all confirm this? I had an honest fella and a good fella that handles fur traps every year told me, and I ain't gonna say the number because I could have misunderstood, but he had a pretty big number on them skunk hides. And he said it was good enough that he was going to stop and cut the tails off of them on the side of the road that he found. So I don't know. Travis, I don't think I can climb a tree like old John Eubanks. Old John Eubanks told him, said, there ain't a tree in all these swamps that I can't climb. Yeah, I don't think I can do that. Well, I'm saving my beaver caster, David Russian, but I hung one up in the fig tree there over my skinning table, and the next morning I come out there gonna get it and move it, it was gone. And I had a skunk tail out there I laid on a board out there on the table, it was gone the next day. I don't know if that blooming chickens took my stuff off, or if the rats is getting it, or if that cat's dragging stuff off, but something. So I can't be laying my stuff out there on that table no more. I mean, it just vanishes. Samuel Pruitt, she does have a sister, but I don't know if she cooks like this one. I just seen that. John Parker, if I confirm that the price is what they say it is, I'll come relieve you of your skunk problem. I can trap you most skunks. I ain't scared to fool with them. I've skinned a bunch of them. I got a video down there of me skinning one. Hey, I grabbed that joker to strip his tail, and I forgot. Normally, I extract that essence out of the back of them things with a Tony Satcher's needle. I don't tell Michelle I'm using it. I go in there and get her good one out of the drawer, and I go down there and extract it, and then I hose it out, stick it back in the drawer. She don't ever know. No, I'm kidding. You know good and well you can't wash that smell out of there. But I do use a Tony Satcher's needle, and I go to the co-op up there and get I don't know what number it is, but you get a big syringe needle tip that'll go in there because that marinade injector won't work. You got to have an actual syringe needle on it. And you can get one big enough that you can stick it in them glands and you can suck every bit of that juice out of there. And then I'd squirt it down in a hot sauce bottle. And I got one of them crystal hot sauce bottles that tall, and they're about slam full of skunk scent. Last I'd heard, it was like $20 an ounce. But I was down there skinning one, and I had forgot to extract the stuff out of it. I just got in a hurry like I am right now. More going on than I could get done, and had these critters I'd got out of traps, and I'm needing to make powder. And I'm out there hurrying, trying to get them skinned. I grabbed that joker to strip his tail, and you put them 2 sticks on either side of that tail, or I do it the old way instead of getting me a professional tail stripper. And when I went to strip that tail, when I pulled like that, I had my hand around the back of his back, and I squeezed a little too hard, and man, the stuff shot right by my head. A little of it hit right there. So when the UPS man pulled up later that day, he said, "No, you just stay down there. I'll set this out right here." He said, "I can smell it from up here." I like to never got that stuff washed off. Randall Ross, you might not want to throw them skunks away. I mean, for the price I heard, they were skinning. I mean, I heard a big number. I want somebody to confirm what they think the price is on them, because I'm telling you, I don't know, and I hadn't had time to really check and look. But they talk like that skunk scent. I mean, that skunk hide is big money this year, and I don't know what they're doing with them or nothing. I would love to see fur prices go back up, and I'm going to tell you why. Y'all, we around in my area are overrun with coons. Now, and I know as first thing, some people think, they don't understand how this works. Oh, leave them alone. Them's God's creatures, and they not bother nothing. Well, here's the problem. There's too many people in this world. You got to keep the animals in check. Animals was designed to raise when there was way more of them than there are people. Well, now we got way more people and we got places for animals. Just a fact. People keep having young'uns and they keep building houses and mowing land and spreading out, and the cities is moving out into the country, and the country people ain't got nowhere to go, and they stuck with the city people, and it's chaos. So there ain't nowhere for the skunks to be in them. Well, we trying to get our deer meat and all that, which I don't go in there and just shoot every coon I see. I used to, but when you put a game camera up and you getting pictures of 10 to 12 raccoons in one spot, that's in one little area, that's too many, y'all. Them things will get disease and it'll wipe the whole bunch out. So they have to be... They don't have a natural predator, really. I mean, a coyote don't really eat a coon. What eats a coon? If one gets run over in the road's about it, and the buzzards take care of it. But as far as something that comes in and hunts them and kills them, they really not food for anything. So, somebody's got to keep in check. And I'm going to tell you right here, we got way too many of them. And they make a pretty hat, but I'm sure they got a lot of other uses for the fur when the fur's right. John Parker, we tried that tomato juice trick for the skunk scent, and I hadn't never found it to work. What it is, it's the acid in there is supposed to neutralize that stuff. The best thing I have found is mix equal parts, well, about equal parts, but usually I get me about a gallon of water, and I'll put a cup or 2 of hydrogen peroxide and a cup or 2 of baking soda. And what else did I tell y'all? Hydrogen peroxide, baking soda, and Dawn dishwashing liquid. Squirt a bunch of that in there and mix it up good. And that's about the best you can get. But now it ain't gonna completely eliminate it. It just ain't. Yeah, Brian Pearson, you're exactly right. All they God's sweet innocent creatures till they a problem for you. And my advice to people is when they fuss at me about trapping and doing something like that, I say, well, hold on, hand. When you walk out your front door and realize that there's a wasp nest right up there in the corner of the door jamb and that thing stings you in the side of the head when you walk out, do you stop and say, oh, that's God's creatures, they in the natural habitat? You walk out your front step and them ants get all over your feet and you step in that ant bed, do you stop and say, oh, that's God's creatures? Leave them alone. Don't, they not bothering nobody. No. You go get that spray or either them little granulars and you feed them jokers real good, don't you? Anyway, well, now, county line, $100 is more than what I heard. So, I'll be honest with you. I heard $75. Now, I don't know if that's green. I figured that's stretched and dried and on a board. I don't know. So I'm $30 ain't bad either, David Russian. I mean, Jeff said 30 to 60 is what his buddy told him. According to Google, skunks are $80 to $95. Mike Culpepper, I'm with you. The last time I priced skunks, they was about $2 a hide. I wasn't fooling with them for that. I was skinning them to tan them for myself, which I still plan on tanning some stuff this year anyway. But if you can get $75 a piece for them, they go into the fur company. You know what I mean? I mean, you can make a good chunk of change thinning them rascals out. Cajun holiday owl. I cooked one last year out here. We boiled it for about 2 hours. Then I put it in one of them Dutch ovens and I'm missing a Dutch oven up there, or a pot. I got a pot missing up there. Anyway, I just looked around and realized it. And I cooked it out here and it was pretty good. But my problem is there was a lot of work in it for what it was. You know, I mean, it just wasn't worth it, really, for all the work. But anyway, it wasn't bad. It's like rattlesnake. Rattlesnake's good. But I'm not fixing to go out there and start flipping 10 over out here like John Parker said to find one. That ain't happening. Brenda gone to bed on us. I bet she done gone. Didn't miss me telling her goodbye. Martin Meltzer, we got a mangy fox here. I've seen him twice. Shot at him the second time. The first time I seen him, I was in there in the knife shop working, and all of a sudden the chickens went crazy, and I just stepped out the door like usually it's a hawk or an owl. Flies down and hits the top of that wire. I got wire over the top of my pins, so I didn't even grab a gun. I just walked out to look. You know, they couldn't get to the chickens. Well, that fox was standing right there in the yard. I'm talking about he was standing right here by the shed. I went back in there and grabbed the rifle. By then, he was way back down yonder, and I never did see him. Well, when Daddy called me one afternoon, he was down there and got up in my culvert. And I could have killed him in the culvert, but I didn't want him stinking in there, so I run him out, and then my gun jammed. I had an old 1022 Ruger, and I ain't cleaned it, and I don't know when, and it needs a good cleaning. Anyway, it hung up on me. I shot 2 times, and that was it, and I missed him. But the reason, I mean, he is mangy. I have seen mangy coyotes before, but I have never seen a mangy fox, and this one's hanging around, so I don't know what to do about him. He got a tail, looks like a possum tail. Got a little old patch of hair on his side, and I mean, he's bad looking. Just enough hair that you know it's a fox. And I can't tell you if it's a gray fox or a red fox, honestly. Miss Alicia Stringer, where have you been? We have been worried sick about you. I need to post that picture me and her took together. I think she may be my next girlfriend. We all went and eat together the other day. Timothy Lorraine, I'm confused. You said we used to put out tin in plywood to catch snakes. We're selling them, but we would find cibby cats. I'm a mite confused. I don't know what I didn't. Charlie, you gone fishing? Man, that is good to hear that you out and about going fishing. VA Woodsman, I got to get my 1022 and clean it. I keep it propped up down in the shed. I'm going to tell you what's got to be cleaned. That 22 Wrangler that I've been toting, I had that thing on my side the last 3 days while I was bush hogging and disking on that tractor. And son, it is coated in dirt on that back part that's exposed. So I got to have a major cleaning on it tomorrow sometime. It's a revolver. They'll handle more grit and dirt than an automatic. And that's why I like a revolver, because I'm rough on stuff. I'm not one of these people that I rub and shine on everything. I use it hard and put it up wet, and I'm rough on stuff. I don't take good care of stuff like I ought to. But that Ruger Wrangler has got to have a scrub in it. But now I done got where I can hit with it. I got a heap of practice with it in the last couple of weeks. Alicia, when did you go to take that nap? 2 or 3 days ago? Oh. We enjoyed it as well, Miss Alicia. We did. We went and eat y'all at Barry's down there at Florence, Mississippi. That's south of Jackson. If you've never eat at Barry's down there, y'all, that is a good buffet down there. They got some good food now. Mike Culpepper done named a cow Chupacabra. Hey, when I was on the disc, I done seen a pair of yotes over there on the deer club. When it cools off, I'm adding, when I get to hunting a good bit, I'm going to take a couple of foot traps and make me some dirt hole sets over there. So I really need to go to Duke's and get me a couple of more. I like to hunt to coyote trap with a 1 3/4 or a number 2. I have caught a lot of them with a 1.5 Duke. It'll catch them and hold them, but I've got to redo a bunch of my coat sets, so I've got to get out there and do another couple of videos on trap prepping. We're going to do a lot of trapping this year, various things, but we're going to do the fur tanning. I mean, we're going to do like we was mountain men, and we're going to try to put up the fur and use it. Possibly make a hat out of all of it and then make it for sale before it's said and done. And that is kind of what I am going to. Lloyd Morris, how are you tonight? You about ready to go after them crappie? I hear if it'll ever cool off, they'll go to biting down there. I mentioned to have me a crappie catching session here for long. Suzanne, I wish our seasons had changed here, but I feel like summer has got a death grip on us and refuses to let go. I have sweated. It's the end of September and I've been sweating. I mean like a pregnant nun at confession. It's been bad. Alabama is beating Georgia at the moment. Charlie, I've been keeping an eye on the score earlier. I hadn't been back in there in a while to check on it, but them tables could turn any moment. I hadn't watched football in several years, really since about 2020. Is about the last out. When all the politics got in there, I was like, you know what, I'm done with it. But now that Nick Saban ain't there and you're not pretty well guaranteed to win every game, or everybody think you're supposed to win every game, that really sucked the fun out of it for me because it just, I don't know, too much, I don't know, people just hate you because you're an Alabama fan. And they think, oh, you just like them because they win all the time. I got a shirt in there that's got 1992 national champions on there. That was when I started watching them. But anyway, I've been keeping up with it. I'm not going to sit in there and watch it all. I can tell you that. Lord Morris, your team like to slipped up today, didn't they? I thought about you too when I seen that one score when I walked through. I said, uh-oh. Yeah, Jeffrey, it's been, when I've been getting up, it's been in the low 60s every day this week. It's felt nice early in the morning, but by about 2 o'clock, it's done started getting tough again. Mike Culpepper, you got an anniversary coming up Monday. 53 years, man. Congratulations on that. There is very few people in this world today can say they've been married over 50 years. I mean, very rare. So my hat's off to y'all for that. Congratulations. I mean, that's a long time. But I'm going to be honest with you. If something happened to mine today, whether she packed up and left or got mad at me for no telling what and left, I don't know that I'd want to try to start over with another one. I mean, it's just, I can't. That getting used to somebody all up, I'm pretty set in my ways now. I mean, I'd probably run a good woman off right straight. I don't even know if I'd be willing to try it. I just decided after I'd done got used to this, and it was a whole lot easier to keep her and fuss with her than it was to learn how to fuss with a new one. No, Molon Lay, them chaps is still rolled up right where I crowned them, if you want the honest to God's truth. You didn't want to hear that, did you? They right where I crowned them when I stuck them in that truck. I need to get them out and let Michelle wash them tomorrow because I'll have to have them Monday. They'll be smelling right. Roscoe down there treeing squirrels tonight. He's back down yonder somewhere. Martin, you on 46? Well, son, you knocking on 50's door real close. I mean, I'm halfway there. We looking at about 22. I think we celebrated 22 years this year. David, he may have Bigfoot treed down there. Yeah, Lord, if me and mine winded up this time, if I have another one, the Lord's going to have to send her and bounce me over the head, over the noggin, and say, this is her, you keep her. Because I feel like that's what he did with this one, that's why I'm keeping her. I'm going to tell y'all want the honest to God's truth? They wasn't nobody to put up with that 8 years of alcoholism like this one did. I can promise you, they wouldn't another woman have stuck that out. Wouldn't have happened. She stuck that out, I'm committed to her. Homestead and Pasture, you on 38? That's good. You know, y'all, it is good to celebrate all of these long. And I mean, we celebrating 22. Nowadays, that's a long marriage if you want to know the God's honest truth. And I want y'all to understand, I ain't criticizing anybody that's had a failed marriage. I mean, stuff happens. I get it. There's crazy people out there, and sometimes you don't know they're crazy till it's too late. I mean, so I ain't throwing stones at nobody. But just looking at statistics and how much marriage winds up in divorce, it's a wonderful thing to celebrate these people that have long marriages. I mean, hats off to them, because really a lot of it is people's not willing to fight through. And I will say this, both parties have to be willing to fight through to save a marriage. One person can't fight to save it when the other one don't care. Now, Michelle fought for probably 8 years to save ours, which there was times that I wasn't just that god awful horrible, but I wasn't that good either. I give her plenty of reason to have walked off. I'll just put it that way. Well, Richard T, stick it out, man. You got it. Maybe you got the one this time. Like I said, I ain't criticizing nobody for going through divorce or nothing, because I mean, it can happen. And then not only divorce, you got spouses that pass away, and unfortunate things happen. So it's not a cookie cutter life. Everybody don't get to do it, but when the Lord does bless you to be able to, I'm for celebrating it. Petey Bowen, you I gotta read this. The number one cause of divorce is marriage. I think Paul put it in the Bible. He said it's good for a man to not touch a woman. He said, I wish you'd all stay single, but he said it to keep you from committing adultery. A man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. So, yeah, John, you're right. They don't value it like they used to. And it's really, I think people jump into it too quickly, which, in their defense, there's a lot of stories of a lot of these old timers got married. And when I say old timers, y'all, a lot of people misconstrue that. I said something about the old timers freezing pokeberries. And somebody said, what old timers had refrigerators? And I was like, well, the old timers I personally talked to grew up in the 50s and 60s, and they had refrigeration. So when I say old timers, I'm talking about them that was born in like the late 40s and on up through there, because I'll be honest with y'all, I hadn't talked to people that's much older than that. They in the grave, so I don't really know them. I heard stories about them and read stuff about them, but I didn't personally know any of them. So when I talk about the old timers, I'm talking about the old men that was alive when I was growing up. So just so we clear that. But anyway, there's a lot of stories of them getting married at like 13, 14 years old. One woman we knew, she got married at 12 years old. And I'm talking about stayed married to the same person all her life. So, it's, you can't really say that everybody jumps into it too quick, because, I mean, you're talking about basically 2 kids that got married. So I don't know. I don't claim to be a marriage expert, y'all. David Russian said, do you know why divorce is so expensive? And he said, because it's worth it. Oh, Lord, that's funny, David. That is funny. I ain't condoning. Petey Fresh Hour, how you doing, buddy? Man, we have been busy as a one-armed paper hanger is what Uncle Sasquatch says. We need to come up with a video of a one-armed paper hanger hanging. I bet AI can do that for us. Which one of y'all is good with this AI stuff? I know some people said it's of the devil and don't touch it, so I can't touch it. They told me to leave it alone. I'm strictly forbidden But some of y'all that ain't got them convictions, get AI to show us what a one-armed paper hanger's doing. I need that visualization. Richard T said mom got married to dad when she was 14. I think Michelle's grandma got married at 13 or 14, or one of them did in her family. Jimmy Sullivan said 43 years this December. Man, that is awesome. Brian Pearson said they have people been together for 34 years and get married. Then a couple of weeks they separated. It's amazing that once you committed to something, it's like, uh-oh. You know, when it was just we living together. So, you know what? That tells you a lot right there. Peter said they didn't have social media and phones like we do now. That's one of the worst things for a relationship. Well, I'll put it like this. It is, and then again, it ain't the sole culprit. It's like, that stuff is like money to some people. You know, they say money ruins people. Well, you know, money really didn't ruin a person. Money was the amplifier that was hooked to them. It just exposed what they really was, is what happened. And, you know, I've always said, well, you know, if I won the lottery, I wouldn't change nothing. I'd still be me. But, you know, the fact of the matter is we really can't say that till you're given money, because how do you know it wouldn't change you? I mean, it's a powerful thing. Look at the people it has changed. I'm sure they thought the same thing to begin with, too. So I try not to run my mouth too much about things that I ain't too sure about. And so, you know, social media really just opened a door for somebody that was looking for a door anyway. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way I look at it. But I get what you're saying, and yeah, you're right. It has been a huge problem for a lot of people. Because, I mean, you know, some people can handle temptation pretty well, and some people's just like a limp noodle with it. They can't handle it at all. So the least little temptation comes along, well, they gone, you know. Yeah, old path fabrication. Money reveals who a person is. Like I said, it's an amplifier. It just blows up where you can really see what, like a magnifying glass. You can really see what they're thinking. Homestead Pastor said his wife's mom and dad celebrated 60 years of marriage this weekend. That is a long time. And Alicia, I seen, said her mom and dad was married 72 years. We've had some around in here that made it into their 60, 70 wedding anniversaries. I can't remember exactly who, but most of them people unfortunately have done passed away by now. That generation's about gone. There's been a lot of people that the Lord has blessed money with, and they handled it and done good. It's about what's in a person's heart. If they got a good heart, they gonna be a good person regardless, I think. And the only way you can really have a good heart is to have Jesus in that heart and truly have him in there. And there's a lot of people that like the Bible says, they say, Lord, Lord, but, you know, he's going to tell them to depart, because they really wouldn't have Lord, Lord. So, you know, it don't mean just because somebody says I'm a Christian means they got a good heart. But when we say a good heart, we're talking about somebody that's really got the Lord in their heart. They going to pretty well do good for the right reasons. And I think, I'm going to be honest with y'all, I think one of the biggest keys to a long marriage is both parties, both people being in love with Jesus Christ. Because if you're in love with the Lord, you're going to do right and you're going to act right. And if you're doing right and acting right and the other person's doing right and acting right, well, you can just get along a lot better. Even you're going to have fights. I mean, it ain't like everything's going to be this blissful love extravaganza the whole, this ain't the movies and the fairy tales. This ain't Lifetime Entertainment Television. This ain't the Hallmark Channel. you know. But when you know the other person's trying to live right and they doing right for the Lord's sake, well, you ain't got to worry about them doing you wrong, So that's kind of the way I look at it. I think that's key to a long marriage. That don't mean that two people that ain't in church and ain't living right can't have a long marriage. I mean, they can, but you just got a lot better shot if both of you's trying to live for the Lord. Petey Bowen, and I can't see nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's your money. If you win a lottery and you spend every bit of it on land and four-wheelers and chickens, you look like that video. My daughter sent me one of these videos, and they driving by this house, and you can tell they hit the lottery. I mean, the yard was solid chickens for a quarter of a mile. I don't know how in the world they feed all them things. They ain't enough bugs on that 100 acres of property for all them chickens to eat in a day. And if they buying food, they having to have it hauled in on a train car. Miss Alicia, no, I have not, but I will tell you this. Michelle does have the hummingbird feeder hanging up, and it's got hummingbirds at it. I hadn't been here. I, honest to God, have not been here none this week. Not near day. No, my bad. Wednesday, I worked in the shop. In the last 2 weeks, I've worked in my knife shop 3 days. 3 days in the last 2 weeks. So if I don't change my ways, I'm going to be a broke fella here pretty quick. Rick Martin, Roll Tide. County Line Logan said he heard that price at a trapper's convention. Homestead Pastor posted a scripture in 1 Timothy, said, "For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows." Brian Pearson said, "This isn't Hallmark love, it's Walmart love. Some things are broken and just need to be taken back in exchange for something better." Well, he said it, I didn't, y'all. Y'all, my cameras is steadily going off. I'm getting Guard Pro notifications steady. I don't know what, probably a bunch of coons is having them a party up there at my feeders since I've been plowing in that dirt. I did get my first rack of horns. There's a little 06 point come into one of my stands yesterday. Petey Bowen, we've had a good many hummingbirds, but I got this one out there that he sits there and runs all the rest of them off. And I'm reminded about this old fella lived over here in the neighborhood, and he got old and got disabled, and he liked to sit on his porch and just enjoy life and sit there and watch the critters and the birds. So his young'uns got together and bought him a hummingbird feeder. They said, "Oh, he'll enjoy watching them hummingbirds out there, swarm around and eat on that thing," and they'd come by and fill it up for him. And I think he figured out how to make his own stuff, or either they bought him a bunch of it to pour in there at the Walmarts or something. I don't remember exactly. But he'd sit out there and watch that hummingbird feeder. Said one day one of them girls pulled up in the driveway and said he is up out there with a fly swat. Said he was at that hummingbird feeder. He was swatting at them hummingbirds. Said you walked up and said, what in the world are you doing? He said, well, there's this one hummingbird said he won't let the rest of them drink. He was out there with a fly swat running them off. He couldn't get no peace at all. It was driving him nuts. They had to take a hummingbird feeder down. Oh, Lord. So, you know, everything ain't as peaceful as people might think. Oh, Lord, Lord. Yes, Miss Alicia, Tuesday night we will be at the Carthage Coliseum in Leake County, Mississippi. It's the Big Buck Contest. I don't know exactly what they named it. I've got a flyer. I have shared some reels and videos about it. I will have a booth set up. I'll have some hats. We'll have some of these type coffee cups. Michelle has got quite a few of them made. I'm not gonna have any shirts. I'm gonna try to have some knives made and up there. I'm gonna be limited though. I ain't gonna have many because I ain't been here to work on them. And I got people, y'all, about mad at me that's got knife orders. For the last 2 weeks, I ain't been here, so I got people messaging me, hey, how's my knife coming? I'm like, look, I ain't started on it. I ain't to it yet. I haven't worked on nobody's knife. Honest to God, I'm trying to do a few for this show that I got coming up, but, you know, it is what it is. That's the biggest cop-out saying. I mean, that's what you say when you're like, ain't nothing I can do about it. It's just the way it's going to be. You know, kind of sounds bad, don't it? But, anyway. I will be at the Coliseum Tuesday. That is the 30th of October. That's this coming Tuesday. Petey, I'll try to put you a hat aside. I got the old style camouflage, that old, it's the kind of tan with the brown and reddish looking shapes, kind of like old duck hunting, I call it. But anyway, that, and then there's a mossy oak. It's sort of like bottomland. It's like the one that I've got. I've got them too. Martin Meltzer said I wouldn't trade my wife for anything, but then again, nobody's made an offer. That's about where I'm at, Martin. Uh-oh, my phone's saying low battery. Low battery. We ain't got long. It's 8:43. It'll hold out for a little bit. Right, Jeffrey. Yes, that's September the 30th, not October. That is in 3 days. In 3 days. This coming Tuesday. Thank you, Jeffrey. I get tongue-tied, and she put October, and I guess my mind went blank, but no, it is not. October's another whole month away. This is September. That's this week. The next time you look at your calendar and it says Tuesday, you better be headed to the Coliseum if you're going to see me. That's the best way I can explain it. Whatever number that is on the calendar, that's the day we'll be there. Oh, Lord. Petey Bowen, I can just about use any kind of a saw blade to make a knife. Some of them I have to tweak my method. As long as it's carbon steel, that's what I like to use. But right now I'm using some of them game saw blades, and they work very well. That is what this one I am toting is, and that's the reason I'm toting it. I have not started selling any of these yet. The man that gave them to me, I got his knife made out there, and y'all, That's one of the most beautiful knives I've ever made. I put that purple heart with a yellow liner under there. Hey, I looked at it and I said, you know, some LSU fan would love this. I mean, love it. So, but the steel is holding up. I've skinned them beavers with this thing. I've skinned 2 beavers. Well, no, I skinned 1 beaver with my Caleb. The last beaver I skinned with this. Skinned the whole beaver, no problem. Stayed sharp, didn't have to sharpen it. So I think it's good steel. But it is a gang saw blade, so if you run across a bunch of them, yeah, I can use them. Brian, you exactly right. I got to get all my knife making done in the summer before this time of year. But now here's one of the things. After this coming week, things are gonna slow down a little bit. We're gonna have to push Christmas orders. People gonna be wanting to buy knives for Christmas presents. Last year got crazy before Christmas. What? What? Look at here, y'all. Look at there.
I just cracked my foil on.
Did y'all see that?
Come on, Brody.
No!
David Russian, a fellow's love for pie is pretty strong too.
I'm putting it on pet supply. Come on.
What you doing out here?
Making
Lord
my pie.
Jesus, thank you for this pie. Oh, Lord. Hallelujah.
Dad,
Did you eat any pie, son?
no, I'm eating apples.
Mm.
These are red.
Yeah, look, them apples is good. Don't you eat none of my pie. You eat just them apples. You leave my pie alone. Roscoe's eyeballing it. No, you get your little booger eating self by the way, huh? All right, you booger eater.
I'm not a burger thing.
Brody's a booger eater.
Look at
Oh, not sweet potato. I believe this is pumpkin. And did Mama say it was pumpkin pie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe we got pumpkin pie.
You bet. If you made it on my puppy, I'm gonna slap her.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I put in for a pie, and I ain't gonna say there ain't nobody ever made a pie out of them before, but I've never heard of it, and I'm not gonna tell you what. I want it to be a surprise. I done told Michelle, I said, film this. Film making a pie out of these because we got a bunch of them down there in the garden. And I said, just make a video and make a pie. And I mean, I said, it'll be the next big craze. It'll go viral. I said, and all them big homestead women will be making pies out of them next. I said, we probably won't get credit for starting. They'll act like one of them big homesteading channels thunk it up first. But I ain't gonna tell you because one of them liable to beat me to the punch when they hear about it. They'll be sneaking around watching my videos, you know, lurking. Y'all know how them lurkers are. We'll get it made this week one day and get that video done. You'll know them. Y'all had to be watching Michelle's channel for it. Now this one, she made a video on this one. This is pumpkin.
He just took off.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Mike Culpepper, that ice cream would be good, but now, I'm trying to watch my figure. And I ain't talking about on camera. I look at me editing them videos, and man, y'all, a lot of times I be editing them videos and think, my Lord, son, you done got huge. You're going to have to lose some weight. I was talking about me too now. I got in trouble one day talking about fat people. I made a comment about, didn't nobody want to see all that or something. And I was talking about me, but they didn't catch that. And I got an email from this lady. Son, her feathers was slicked down and all of a sudden they're sticking straight out. I mean, it ruffled her feathers up something fierce. She scolded me pretty good on there, and I ain't seen hide and hair out ever since. I apologized to her too, like I'd done something wrong. But she said that she was one of them fat people and she didn't appreciate it. And I was like, whoa, lady, I was talking about me. I'm fat people. I mean, I wouldn't I'm skinny and I got a perfect physique and I'm laughing at all you fat people. No, I'm the one that's fat here. What?
I think Roscoe has found something.
We'll get you a light and your BB gun and go down there and evaluate the situation.
Okay, grenade.
A grenade? No, you don't need no grenade. We got enough windows shot out like it anyway. He ain't hit a window yet, but it's coming, I can guarantee you. I probably just ain't found it yet. Pretty good deal. Son Roscoe's wound up down there about something.
I'm gonna check on.
Samuel Pruitt said he's probably my biggest fan, around 400. I'm about halfway, I'm over halfway to there. Me and Michelle has decided we're going on a diet, but now, I'm going to be honest with y'all, we ain't them strict dieters, A lot of them folks, when they go on a diet, they cut out everything, and I'm like, I can't do that. First, well, there he is. What'd you find down there, son? Did you get him? Did you get him? Good boy. What'd you want? Licking a plate? You was down there barking. I eat it all. You don't want no apple. But anyway.
Cats can have apples, they just can't have the seeds or the stem or the leaf.
Well, y'all heard that, didn't you? But anyway, I told her, I said, diet got to be a lifestyle change, because it's got to be something. You just got to do that now, because you're going to want these strict diets for about a month or so and then go back to like you was doing before. You'd be twice as big as you was, so. I don't know. We're going to have to limit the sweet tea. And I don't drink a lot of soft drinks. I drink a Diet Mountain Dew alone. I don't drink them every day. In fact, I don't even drink them every week. Sometimes I go several weeks, I don't drink a soft drink at all, so that ain't my problem. Probably sweet tea's a lot of it. And I hadn't eaten a lot of ice cream. I know I talk a lot about ice cream, but I have not bought no ice cream in probably a month. And we had a bucket in there, and I was eating maybe a bowl a week, something like that. So I hadn't eaten an overly amount of ice cream. You hear me talking?
Roscoe's kind of bleeding.
Kind of bleeding?
Yeah, but you
Where?
can't even see it.
Where? Where do you see blood?
Just kidding.
Well, son, don't stop me from talking to make up something that ain't true. Tell a lie right there. All them people just heard you lie. You realize that? He's getting bad as Eugene Ledbetter. Next thing we know, be jumped up at the dinner table hollering, there's a line in the yard, there's a line in the yard. I know what I'm going to do with this boy. Y'all pray for him. I had to do him like Uncle Versi done Eugene. Said Uncle Versi slapped Eugene flat of his back. Told him to go pray, he did. Eugene come back in.
Grenade.
He said, did you pray, talk to the Lord? He said, yes, sir. He said, you feel better? He said, yes, sir. He said, you feel like the Lord's forgive you of the sin of lying? He said, yes, sir. Said, in fact, said, while I was out there, said, the Lord talked directly back to me. Said, Eugene. Said, Uncle Versi said, Eugene. Said, Eugene, don't lie about God. He said, I ain't lying. He said, I could hear him just as clear as I can hear your voice right now. Said one of the brothers spoke up and said, "Would you mind sharing with us what the Lord told you?" He said, "No, I don't mind telling you." He said the first time he saw that dog, he thought it was a lion too. I know I've told that before, but that's too good not to tell again. Martin Meltzer said he must be on an Egyptian diet because he's in denial. Oh, Lord. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all, my gut and all don't really bother me. And it ain't really my size or the way I look that bothers me. But I can't do nothing. I mean, you get slam out of breath, walk around, and I'm pretty active. I mean, I'm steadily trying to get stuff done. And it's like today, y'all, I ain't done nothing but ride the tractor for 3 days, and I'm wore slam out. I mean, I come in exhausted, didn't feel like doing nothing but sitting down in a chair, and I'm like, that's what I don't like. That's bothered me worse than anything. And the reason is I'm 44. I realize in another 20 years, that'll be it. I'll be at that age where I really ain't gonna feel like doing no whole lot. Now, I won't be like, decrepit and in a chair and can't do nothing, but I ain't gonna be out running a trap line like I'm doing now and all that stuff. And I'm like, I gotta make the most of these next 20 years if I'm gonna accomplish everything I wanna accomplish. I can't do it feeling like I feel. And I just feel exhausted and wore out. And so that's my biggest motivation. It ain't that, hey, you look fat, you ugly. That I could care less. I'm past worried about what I look like. If I did, I'd dress a little better than I do probably. But it's about how I feel. And I don't know. I don't have no energy. I feel exhausted a lot of times. I think the Greenbrier route has helped me, but I've quit taking it because I don't ever think about it. So now I got to start back taking that lion's mane to help my memory so I can remember to take the other.
Jason, and you tell him, Jake, something. So this guy said,
Lord Morris, I have not tried bone broth. We've got some bones in the freezer down there that we brought home from the beef store. Michelle was gonna make something to cook with, but what is a bone broth? What does that do? I hadn't really heard about it. And Mike Culpepper, you're right. It's aging. So that's really my point. Is I know it's not naturally just gonna fix itself. It ain't like, well, if I do, I'd take it easy. I'm gonna feel better next week. I realize at 40 years old, I'm gonna have to fight to get back to where I feel like doing stuff. So, that's my point. It's got to become a lifestyle change. That dieting for a couple of weeks ain't gonna solve nothing. So we trying to limit the fried food. I ain't never fixing to say I'm giving up fried food. That ain't happening. I'll just be honest with you. I like fried fish and I like fried deer meat. So my phone's steadily telling me it's wanting to quit. So we're gonna have to shut this down here in a minute. It's 8:59 right on the money. We're gonna answer a few more questions before we go. I've cut out the sodas. I say cut out. I really drink about 1 or 2 a week is it. So I don't really think that's a problem. I know they ain't good for you, no way, shape, or form. But I used to drink them 2 or 3 a day. I don't do that. I ain't done that in several years. We got to cut out a lot of the bread stuff. I think we eat more bread and biscuits. So really, we do biscuits about once a week, maybe twice a week. So I don't eat cat head biscuits every morning. I know a lot of people seem to be led to believe that I do, but a lot of times I don't eat breakfast at all. I'm bad, and I think this is part of my problem. I'm bad to get up, drink coffee, go to work, come in about 12 o'clock and just get a snack. If there's leftovers, just eat a couple of pieces of meat out of the skillet or whatever, microwave or whatever, refrigerator, and go on. And then we eat a big supper. And that's probably why I eat too much at supper time. So all of that is probably terrible. It would probably be way better if I would get up in the morning and cook eggs and bacon and sausage and all that stuff. And then we eat a light, like a salad for supper would be better. But I don't know. Y'all know I like to eat. I have not local life. I need to have my sugar probably checked. I wonder, does your eyes going bad? Is that a sign of sugar? I probably do need to have it checked if you want my honest opinion. I hate to do that though, because if you go to the doctor and there ain't nothing wrong with you, by George, they will be when you leave. Bone broth has protein, collagen, amino acids, and electrolytes. What is ghee, Jen? Butter or high quality oil like tonight I used olive oil on there. Now I started curing that to begin with lard because I was just getting it wet with oil and scraping it off. I'm sure some stayed on there, but I didn't deep fry in that lard, which I think lard's better for you than the seed oils, which my deep fryer is full of, I think it is canola oil is what's in it. It's frying oil. I ain't 100% sure what it is. But anyway, I've heard all the seed oils and all that stuff's bad, so I don't know what ghee is, but we eat a lot of butter and we try to use real butter. Trace mineral supplements. I know a lot of people's talking about cooking in beef tallow. I had somebody said that beef tallow was awful, so, and I'm sure I'll have to form my own opinion on it. So I can't say one way or the other till I try it. When we make deer burger, we put beef fat in it, beef tallow. We just get the trimmings at the butcher shop from beef. Sausage, I put pork in that deer, so we're gonna try to eat a lot more deer meat and stuff like that this fall through winter, which I've got a bunch we got to eat right now out of the freezer. So I want to make more jerky and stuff. I didn't make a lot of jerky last year because I didn't realize how many deer I was gonna kill. So probably this year I'm gonna make more jerky, and we go through a lot of ground deer meat. We eat the ground deer meat up before we do anything. Lord, I probably do need to cut out the pork, but Lord, I love bacon. And I like pork ribs, But I will say this, and I know there's a little controversy about biblically pork being unclean. Biblically, it's okay not to eat pork. But, because in Acts 10, Jesus told him, said, I've cleansed it. Don't call unclean what I have cleansed. He was talking about the food. He was referring to the Gentiles as well, but when he cleansed a lot of stuff. He changed all of that stuff. But I do believe that he had a reason for telling them to abstain from pork and stuff. I think it was because he wanted his people to be healthier than everybody else, better than everybody else. And so the fact that he made it where it wasn't wrong to eat it or a sin to eat it probably still don't mean that it's healthy for you to eat. So what I'm getting at is the reason that it was unclean and a sin at one time is because it physically wasn't really good for you. So what I'm saying is now it's not a sin to eat it now, but it's probably still unhealthy for you, is the reason. If y'all follow what I'm telling you, did I make that make sense, or did I really lose you on that? Sometimes I try to say things and it don't never about come out like I say it. Yeah, I'm gonna make pemmican. I am gonna make some pemmican, and we're gonna do a video on making pemmican. Clay Hayes has done the best video I've seen so far on it. He does a good job making videos, and his views apparently show it. He had several 100,000 views on one of them videos. I was like, my Lord. Anyway, y'all, we are fixing to have to shut all this down. I bad hate to shut it down and send y'all all on your merry way, but I know y'all got to go to sleep. Hey, Just in Time will be out in the morning. I've got to go edit that. I've already filmed it. Hey, gonna be a good one. Had a good one today. I filmed it this afternoon. I'll be honest with y'all. The Lord just took over about halfway through it. I dialed in. I wasn't 100% on what the Lord was trying to tell me. I knew what I was going for. I knew the general idea, but I really dialed it in about halfway through what he was putting in my heart. And I like when that happens, because I know then I'm following the Spirit, not just off blindly ranting on something that's my idea. So, yeah, he's ready to go. We fixing to go get to bed. Iron and Blood, Alicia, I'll look into some of that. Homestead and Pasture, it may not be. My daddy, he just always said, he said, son, if you'll eat foods the Bible talked about, said you'll be healthy. And it made sense to me. Scientifically, I can't answer those questions because I'm not a scientist. So you could very well be right on that. I don't know. I hear that pork ain't good for you. I hear, well, it ain't that bad. I'll say this. I don't know. I can see where that much fat, and the reason pork ain't good for me is I'm going to eat the fat part off of it first. I can't help it. That's the part I like. So, I can see where it ain't healthy for you. But then again, I can see where, you know what, it might not be hurting a thing, because every time you turn around, they telling us something's killing us. Oh, don't eat this, it's bad for you. And that time they come out and told us that milk was bad for us, not to drink milk. Oh, it's the worst thing you can drink. I said, this bunch has lost their mind. You'll never convince me that, oh, and it wasn't long. Oh, that was wrong, milk's fine, it don't hurt nothing. I said, yeah, I knew that all along. Now, common sense told me that. So, so you just have to kind of take stuff with a grain of salt and form your own opinion. And like I said, I have opinions, but I don't sit here and think because this is my opinion and I think I'm 100% right and everybody else is dying going to hell if they don't agree with me. You know, that's the way a lot of people like. I could be wrong. I know that. A lot of people won't admit that. Anyway, y'all, I have had fun sitting out here talking to y'all. It's time to go to bed. Most everybody's ready to go to bed. Y'all want to go check on ball game scores? Well, I might be too. But, kitty cat. Come here, kitty, 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 kitty. Kitty, 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 kitty. Y'all ain't never seen Charlie. Come here, kitty, 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 kitty. Sometimes he'll come over here and let me pet him. I didn't know if he'd come over here right now. Kitty, 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 kitty. Come here. Kitty, 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 kitty. He's skittish. He's not one of them cats stays under your feet. Well, it's actually a she. Kitty, 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 kitty. She ain't coming. Hard-headed cat ain't listening to nobody. So anyway, y'all, thank you for watching tonight. I have enjoyed it. We've eaten some good food. Pumpkin pie, quesadillas. My belly's full. I got to go edit a video, though, here shortly, so y'all will have that out tomorrow. But anyway, God bless y'all. Thank you for watching Spirit of the Outdoors live from Mississippi on Saturday night. I've enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. We'll see y'all. Y'all have a good night.